Hello and welcome to EJ Sport. My name is Guy and this is my review of all of the WWE things that have happened this week. There's a lot to get through, so because both Raw and Smackdown were very packed, so I'll crack on and get on with Smackdown. Opening segment. Dean Ambrose came out and there was Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. It was a nice opening segment and it was a segue to the main event, being that there was going to be a #1 contendership for Dean Ambrose's title. We all kind of knew where that was going, that it was going to have a particular type of outcome. The Raw taping happened on Monday, or it was live, whatever. Thursday night Smackdown was recorded on Tuesday, and Wednesday's breaking news that Roman Reigns had breached the WWE's wellness policy. There is the belief that there was some sort of impact to that pay-per-view. I don't really think that's going to have an issue. Not really sure what's going on with the whole booking thing, but it appears that there's going to be a nice period of no Roman Reigns. Yay! But it means that he will be back in time for the pay-per-view. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Quite what they were doing with the whole coming out about it thing, I'm not sure. Maybe Vince was encouraged to tell Roman Reigns to come out on Twitter, but I sincerely hope Roman Reigns did that himself, because if Vince did it, it suggests that they're trying to stick with him as being a babyface, and that's a big no-no as far as I'm concerned. Moving on, Sami Zayn defeated Kevin Owens. I love this feud. I'll fight forever. I really do want them to fight forever. They are brilliant. I think they're both good entertainers. Don't want to see that end. Maybe they could be pushed to apart from with the up and coming draft. John Laurinaitis, he came out on Raw. I know there is a lot of this happening recently. It doesn't really float my boat, if that's the expression, because bringing out ex-Raw and Smackdown general managers to show you how unfit they are to be this manager. We all know it's going to be Stephanie and it's going to be Shane, so stop with... I guess, you've got to fill 3 hours somehow, so knock yourself out. Enzo and Cass defeated the Vaudevillains. It was a good enough match. It's not going to be a feud that goes away. Vaudevillains are starting a losing streak. I think that we'll see. I think a few matches that will not really do a lot, and I'll explain all later. John Cena demolishes Carl Anderson and loses by DQ. Carl Anderson's a good wrestler. He's not the greatest. He's not sort of at the top of his game, but good wrestler nonetheless. Not really sure how he got completely demolished in that match. Literally, I actually didn't remember seeing any offense by Anderson. Doesn't really paint him in a good light. There you go. I know that the feud, and I actually like this angle. I think it's giving both wrestlers something to do, and it's progressive towards maybe the booking of John Cena winning at SummerSlam and also at Battleground, but we'll see. The board, Corbin versus Zack Ryder. The end of days finished that. Give that man something to do. Give him a personality. He doesn't look like he actually enjoys his job. I know that sounds funny, but Really, next time you see Baron Corbin on the screen, look to see he's actually enjoying what he does. Charlotte defeated Paige for it was the WWE women's titles on the line. Something Dana Brooke epic fail. When a face comes down to fight a heel team, because a heel person with somebody accompanying them, there are times when the face will pin the heel near the side of the ropes, and the accompanying heel puts the person in the ring's foot on the ropes without the referee seeing it to try and stop the count of 1, 2, 3. That's happened in wrestling lots and lots of times before. But Dana Brooke fluffed it up. It was awful. Get someone competent to do women's wrestling. She really... I mean... there are lots of things wrong, but I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail later on during the Smackdown, my Smackdown bit. So, the Wyatt family returned. Really happy that they returned. I think Bray Wyatt got a very good pop. It was nice to see them back. Teasing in sort of a feud with New Day because they interrupted. Whether that might have some sort of impact on the draft or not, I don't know. We'll get to that again. We'll talk about that later. We'll see where that goes. Rusev came out with Titus O'Neil. Didn't actually get to do the match. It just bored. It seems to be just going nowhere at the moment. But again, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns main event, it was quite entertaining for a little bit. It ended in a double count out. That was kind of predictable, as I said earlier. The end result being Shane O'Mac came out and said it's going to be a triple threat for Battleground. Now, not familiar with Battleground. I've actually never watched Battleground before. It seems to be a relatively new pay-per-view in my eyes. But the Shield triple threat match, to me, is a noteworthy match. And I feel that it should actually be on one of those cornerstone pay-per-views like SummerSlam or Survivor. Something that really, you kind of look up to as being one of the bigger pay-per-views. Not Battleground. However, they might be trying to give some strength to these lower pay-per-views because there are the rumours that there's going to be more pay-per-views per year because of Raw and Smackdown having their own individual ones. Who knows? Smackdown. Now, the Ambrose Asylum segment was brilliant. I actually quite enjoyed it. It was very funny. I think that they'll probably do a lot more of those. I actually quite enjoy the Ambrose Asylum. I think he's a good champion, Dean Ambrose. I don't think they should keep him with it for a little while longer. Cesaro defeated Del Rio. Now, I do think that was a bit of a okay match, and they almost did that thing on the corner where he does. Oh, so pleased he didn't. So pleased that Cesaro defeated Del Rio. Sheamus defeated Cruz via a countout. Now, there was a pay-per-view match between these two, and Cruz got a little bit of momentum by defeating Sheamus, albeit by a roll-up, but lost any credibility losing via a countout, whilst Sheamus was lording it over him like he'd actually won some sort of title. AJ Styles defeated Jimmy Uso. What I'm going to say about the match? It was okay, I guess. But there's going to be a lot of matches that aren't really going to mean a lot, but I'll cover that off in a minute. The New Day defeated Vaudevillains. Was okay, I guess. So it gave a chance for a Wyatt family to make a promo, and also the Vaudevillains extend their losing streak. Dana Brooke defeated Becky Lynch. Now, I'm a bit angry at the WWE because the women's wrestling has come on a lot, and I mean it's come a long way. So much so that they're getting longer matches. It's becoming a bit more serious. They're getting closer to things like main events. But don't get lazy with the writing. It's increasingly frustrating when you say that somebody gets distracted and then loses. No, for weeks now, that's been kind of the outcome for a lot of the women's matches, and it's becoming lazy. Don't stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Anyway, good thing though, Sasha Banks, brilliant return. I think teasing maybe Charlotte versus Sasha Banks for the Battleground pay-per-view. That would be great, but we'll see when it comes in the draft and everything. Seth Rollins defeated Sami Zayn. It was a good match. Probably match of the night, maybe Cesaro Del Rio match of the night, whether or not sure. Couple of things I want to clear up that were in their Darren Young segment. Just no, Darren. If I see another Darren Young segment, I think my eyes might bleed. Because it just... I'm trying to think of another... There's the Shining Stars. There's been a lot of people with vignettes and little segments that just kind of bored you to tears and teased the intro of stars that have come back or they're being introed, and they never go anywhere. So I don't really see the point of making Darren Young great again. I think they should make him sacked. Anyway, so just to recap then, for a lot of the matches on the card, there is going to be a lot of lull and a lot of non-movement in a lot of wrestling matches over the next few weeks because of the draft. There isn't going to be a lot of story progression because there is going to be a potential split up of even stables when it comes to things like the draft. So there isn't going to be a lot of movement, and that's why you'll see a lot of rehash of wrestling matches that aren't really going to have a lot of interest in them. Now, I did want to say that. Oh no, I covered off women's wrestling, so that's right. I just want to make sure I said that. I had it written down on my notes twice, but for unknown reasons. So let me know what you think on the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can hit me up on Twitter, Guy@EJ Sports. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.